Microwaves, healthy eating, and offensive line play. Hi again, everyone. I'm James Rapine of allbengals.com. She's Elise Jesse of allbengals.com, and we're here with Cincinnati Bengals talk at Paul Brown Stadium following Bengals practice on Tuesday. The Bengals continuing their offseason program, and we're going to get to the hard-hitting stuff like offensive line play and Frank Pollack. But first, we have to start with Microwave Gate.
Yes.
Or Joey B and the microwave that was by his locker that you spotted. I didn't notice it during the open locker room session. Joe Burrow has a microwave right next to his locker, and I've never seen that in my time covering the NFL. And you saw it, you spotted it, and you asked him about it.
I did. Well, it stood out to me because that used to be Andy Dalton's locker, obviously, and he never had anything much. He was a very clean guy, didn't have a lot around his locker. And guys usually have, pre-workout or waters or extra sweatshirts, whatever they have. But the microwave was an interesting one. So it's on this little cart. It looks like a college microwave. Probably cost about $20, $25 at Walmart or something. Yeah. And I just walked up and asked him if he was heating up Hot Pockets or what the deal was with the microwave. And of course, Joe Burrow does not eat unhealthy at all, it seems. He said that, it all started when his chef had to bring him food because the cafeteria was closed. And so he had no way of microwaving his food at lunchtime. So he brought in his own. He solved the problem. And yeah, he had something super healthy. What was it? I keep forgetting. I've asked you this 4 times.
It's something with kimchi and kale and other stuff that I don't eat. Yeah.
Sounds delicious.
Very green. Yeah, you would say that. Yeah, healthy eater. I was like, and I try to stay in relative good shape. I'm not eating kimchi regularly, but Joe Burrow is. And before you get on the Bengals for the lunchroom closing, the cafeteria closing, it was all because of COVID. Yeah. So he came in during the COVID year, and so he's done this since he's gotten to the league, and I think it's paying off. I think you see Joe from a fitness standpoint now versus where he was 6 months ago, 3 months ago. I think there's a difference, but certainly from a couple of years ago when he got into the league.
He certainly packed on the muscle mass, and I don't think he thought anything of the microwave. I don't think he thought it was weird, but when I walked in, I'm like, what's that? Yeah. What's going on in this room? But yeah, it totally makes sense. Of course, he's going to microwave his own stuff, and he can just sit in his seat and eat, and he's not going to get anything from the cafeteria, I don't think, because he has his private chef coming in, and clearly he's doing something right because he's got that muscle mass, and like you said earlier, he's going to need it.
Yeah, he is going to need it with the offensive line. Real quick, he said it was up for grabs. If anyone else wanted to use it, the microwave, it was public. I was like, what about if a security guard outside? He was like, it's up for grabs. That being said, I don't think anyone used it today besides him. No one else had meals in the area, the little cooler that he had his meal. It was for drinks, and he put his meal in there. So I think this is a Joe Burrow exclusive. I don't think anyone else is using that. Even Jamar Chase or someone like that. I think they might be able to. I don't think they are.
Now I'm interested to see what he's going to have for lunch next week. Yeah. It's going to be a big thing. I wonder, does he like kimchi? Does he request meatballs? What's his thing? Salad?
Joe Burrow's lunch. We're going to keep you up to date every single week. That's why you come here.
When the guys are basically, it's a glorified walkthrough. That's what OTAs are. No, so when it's something like that, you have to find the interesting, weird things, and that's the interesting, weird thing of the day.
And I think it is interesting. The other part that is interesting is you talked with Frank Pollack. And the offensive line, there can't be enough talk about it. With how bad they were over the past couple of years, how bad they were last season in Super Bowl 56. Your takeaways talking with Pollack and some of his offensive linemen?
Well, being around Pollack, I was around him, 5 years ago, and that's back when he was under Marvin Lewis, and I've seen him coach his guys on the field, and so I know that 70 sacks of Joe Burrow is unacceptable to him. So I asked him what the issues were that he identified and how he was going about changing that and fixing that, and of course they add talent to the offensive line, which helps a lot, but he really touched on the verbiage in the playbook and making sure, especially with Lael Collins, translating what Lael knows from the Dallas days and bringing them, because Frank also worked in Dallas, everyone knows that, and bringing them into the Cincinnati verbiage and making sure that everyone's on the same page and understands exactly what's expected of them. So I think that is going to also go a long way, because it doesn't matter if you have all the talent in the world. If you don't know what you're doing on the field, talent's not really going to matter that much.
It's not. And so that's the part. That is the importance of these practices. If any, it's just getting acclimated and getting used to the verbiage, getting used to all of those things. They're not hitting They're in shorts, and we were wearing more than they were. I mean, so no helmets, no nothing. So, but yeah, the offensive line is such a huge topic. Speaking of that, real quick, I want to hit on Jackson Carman. No comment today, declined comment when asked about that defective report that came out on draft day. I know a lot of you have thought about that, been wondering about that, and I didn't think he was going to necessarily comment on it, but official today that he did not comment on that. But he's another part of this offensive line, obviously. They want him to hopefully be that left guard, that starting left guard, not just this year, but 2022 and beyond. Did Pollack mention anything with Carman specifically?
You know what? I did not touch on Carman simply because I know all of the hoopla that is surrounding him right now, and really wanted to focus on the story that I have coming out either this week or next week on the offensive line. But I don't think that Pollack would shy away from a question about Carman at all. And those are questions, while they are hard to ask, we still have to ask them. These guys are in the spotlight. You can't ignore stuff like that. So yeah, I'm glad the question was asked today. And he gave the expected no comment answer. So
Zach Taylor offered no comment as well during the draft. So for those wondering, Bengals not commenting, I wouldn't expect much more from that side of it. But from a football standpoint, the Bengals hoping the offensive line is much improved this season. One more quick note, Alex Cappa, not expected to participate in the rest of the offseason program, according to Zach Taylor, but he was back today. So he's back. He was smiling. He was talking with Frank Pollack. He was joking with him. In fact, Frank Pollack rolled in and joked with Cappa, Karras. I talked with Jonah Williams for a bit. So I think he's a little more excited. I don't know if excited is the right word, but a little more at ease compared to past years when it comes to this offensive line.
it seems like a lot of the players who have been here for a while are more at ease with Frank Pollack, which is not a shock. I mean, everybody who comes into contact with Frank Pollack really likes him, especially Joe Mixon as well. So he's not even on the offensive line, as we know. So I'm not surprised.
You know why the offensive line doesn't use Joe Burrow's microwave?
No, I don't.
Dang, I was gonna say because you can't put glass in the microwave because the glass eaters, but you can. So maybe they do. Oh, I don't know. See, that's my awful dad joke to end this video. But stay tuned on allbengals.com because, as Elise said, she's gonna have some awesome stuff on the offensive line. So can't wait for that. And for Elise Jesse, I'm James Rapine signing off for now at sunny, bright, hot, but I'm not complaining because it's way better than cold, Paul Brown Stadium.